Morning, everyone. Thanks for joining today's Cloud Data Exchange webinar. My name's Lara Fitches and I'm the Cloud Data Exchange Sales Manager. And today I'm going to be running through the platform and the features and benefits. So just a little bit about Cloud Data Exchange. It's brought to you by leading business software developer Eureka Solutions, who've been transforming business systems for growing companies since 2004. We're founded on the principles of outstanding customer service and technical expertise. So the Cloud Data Exchange platform, it's an efficient cloud-based integration tool that facilitates the automatic transfer of data such as sales orders, payments, customers, stock levels, products, etc., through commonly used e-commerce sites. So as you can see there, we've got connectors for things like Sage 50, Shopify, WooCommerce, Amazon, eBay, etc. So at present, we have got over 110 sites integrated using the Cloud Data Exchange platform. And we have over 2 million transactions per month running through the platform, and that's growing rapidly daily. So here you can see a few of our customers that we use for Cloud Data Exchange. So you've got JT Dove Building Materials, you've got the Motor Fuel Group, Mr. Shoes, and you've got the Real Olive Company. We have a quote here from the COO of the Real Olive Company, who has said that Cloud Data Exchange has dramatically reduced the amount of manual processing, eradicated the risk of keying errors, and generally made our online business a much slicker operation. So as a referral partner, you would introduce our integration tool to clients and prospects as a solution to integrate their disparate systems. With each referral, Cloud Data Exchange will handle the sale and the implementation process, giving you the ability to provide greater value to your customers without increasing your workload. So benefits to the customer: they can achieve more with less by automating their data transfer. They'll have a massive reduction in errors, a unified view of data, so what they see in one system will be available in the other. Cut out duplication of effort. They free up their focus to grow their own business. Integrations will run at specific schedules throughout the day, so they can set that up themselves in the platform. They get peace of mind because it's built securely on the Google Cloud platform, and there is an automatic delivery of updates. So regularly throughout the day, they'll get notifications to see what has been successfully transferred between the two systems. Partner benefits. So your integrations or your customer integrations are set up by our experienced team. You will get a referral fee for each customer that you pass over. There's a removal of integration headaches for your team. So quite often you'll have one customer who wants to integrate with Sage and another who wants to integrate with Xero. So we can handle the whole thing, so you're not having to trawl around and find different integration partners each time. You've got improved customer loyalty via proactive problem solving. There's a dedicated account management service, so you get your own account manager here at Cloud Data Exchange. We've got a UK-based support team, and we've got 9.7 out of 10 independent review ratings, which is something we're really proud of. You've got our own support team, and we've got resources to support your customer communications as well. And you will get a dedicated listing in our partner directory. So just to run through our tried and tested process. So stage one, you've got your needs analysis and alignment, which essentially is when you or your client will have a chat with one of our account managers. We can run through, what they would need from the integration, what they want to upload and download between the two systems. So once we've got all the requirements gathered, we will send a quote out to the customer. Once the customer is happy to proceed, it then goes on to the scoping and specification stage, which essentially will be one of our implementations team we'll have a project kickoff call with the customer, and they'll then go through the final requirements, such as, you know, individual field mappings and things like that. Once they're happy with that and the document's being created, that then goes on to the implementation phase. It all gets set up, field mappings configured, and then it moves on to the testing phase. So the integration is tested thoroughly by our in-house support team, and it gets tested by the customer as well. Once they're happy with that, it goes live, and then they've got their ongoing telephone and email support through Cloud Data Exchange. So now I'm going to give you a quick overview of the platform. Okay, so here you go. Welcome to the Cloud Data Exchange dashboard. So this can be accessed from anywhere. So it's a cloud-based tool. So you would just pop in, you know, Cloud Data Exchange in the URL with your own username and password, and you can access this from anywhere. The dashboard just gives you an overview of the platform and how it's performing. So here you can see, you know, what my transaction allowance is. Mine is, it's set to 1,000 transactions a month. That's next due to reset on the 13th of July. You can see here, you know, what I've used, what I've got remaining, and there's sort of a nice little chart at the bottom which goes through, you know, which successful and which failed transactions have happened. So it's just useful to log in, gives you a bit of a snapshot to see how you're performing. So down the left-hand side, you've got your menu. With Cloud Data Exchange, you've got the concept of both connectors and integrations. So before we can set up an integration, we need to set up the connectors for the particular platforms that you or your client are looking to integrate with. So as you can see down the left-hand side, these are some of the demo connectors that I've already got set up in the platform. So I've got Sage 200, I've got Sage 50, Shopify, WooCommerce, Xero. On the right-hand side are a list of all of the connectors that, well, all of the platforms that we currently have connectors for. And it is as easy as this to set up a new connector. So I'm going to pick WooCommerce. It asks you to pop in your connector name, your WooCommerce URL, and then it asks you for your consumer key and your consumer secret. And then you just connect up, and that's your connector to that platform set up. Each one asks for different credentials. So I'll show you the Shopify one. That just asks you for your connector name and your shop name. So we'll come out of that. Once you've set up your connector, it'll appear in the list on the left-hand side. And once you've got both connectors set up for the two systems you want to link with, we can then move on to set up an integration. So as you can see here, I've got some set up already. So we've got a Shopify and a Sage 50 integration here, and this is set up to import sales orders into Sage from Shopify. I'm just going to show you what we've got mapped here. So obviously you've got the integration name, and you can have a brief description at the bottom here about what the integration handles. And these are the fields that we have already added. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is your export connector. So we're exporting from Shopify, and on the right, we're importing into Sage. And you've got all of the fields that you would expect to be in there. So, you know, you've got your Shopify order number, that's going to your customer order number in Sage. You've got all of your address fields being mapped between the two, obviously telephone numbers. You've got your product information here. So you've got things like your SKU code is going from Shopify to your product code in Sage, your quantities, all the sort of standard field mappings that you would want. If you go further down, we can set up what we call default mapping lines. So this is where we're telling the integration to do a particular thing for a particular customer. So in this instance, we have got all of our sales orders coming into Sage 50, but they're all going to one generic customer account called Shopify. And obviously further down, you can see all of the payments are being imported into that nominal code in Sage 1200. So you can set up these can be custom fields set to each particular integration. Once you're happy that everything is mapped, we can either run a test import. This is primarily for testing purposes. So you can set the filter date back if you know that there's a test order sitting in the Shopify site ready to import. You can change the filter date, confirm that, and then run it. You've got some useful tabs here. So you've got allow duplicates, save sent data, save fail data. So essentially, allow duplicates will usually always be turned off, and that just makes sure that the integration isn't importing the same order twice. So you're not going to end up with duplicate data in your accounting system. You could turn that on if, for example, you were testing and you wanted to import the same test transaction, over and over again. You save sent data, save failed data. That's something I'll show you shortly, which just appears in the log section over here. So when we import an order, if you save the data, it shows you exactly what information's been imported. And you can actually go in and edit it, but we'll run through that in a second. Notifications. So you can have this email address set up in here. You can have multiple, and basically you will receive any integration failures. So if an order has failed to import for some reason, you'll get notified about that. So once you're happy that that has been set up and it's all been tested and you want to go live with it, you can set up the schedule in here as well. So this is something that you can go in and change, or your customer can go in and change. So you can have it set up to run every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, once a day. That's up to you. Or you can go in and run it on a particular day of the week, at a particular time of the day. So I'm going to come out of this one and I'm going to show you how easy. So obviously this is one that we've already got set up. So I'm going to show you how easy it is just to set up a new integration altogether. So name your integration. So we'll do WooCommerce to Sage 50. Add a brief description and we'll say import orders to Sage. So on the left hand side here, you can pick which system you're exporting from. We'll do WooCommerce, and I'm going to pick a connector that I set up earlier, or obviously you can create a new one if you haven't already done so. So I'm going to click the connector I've already got set up, and I am going to import it to Sage 50, which I've already got set up. Now, this part here, choose a template, or you can create your own advanced field mappings. So what this section does is, if our developers have already created an order import or any integration from WooCommerce to Sage 50 that we think would be useful, we'll save it as a template and it automatically appears in this section. So you can either pick from one of these and use the field mappings that we've got here, and then obviously you can delete the ones that aren't relevant, or you can amend them, or you can just go at the bottom and create one from new. So I'm going to just select this one for now, and you'll see it automatically populates all of the fields in here. Like I say, you can just delete them by clicking that cross there, or you can amend them. So if we go further down, you'll see for this particular integration, we've got a couple of things set up. So this customer would like all PayPal orders. So all orders paid by PayPal and all orders paid by Stripe, they're going to separate customer accounts in Sage 50. So all orders paid by PayPal are going to this customer account reference, and the Stripe ones are going here. So you can delete this if it's not relevant, or you can change it and amend it. And you can change these fields as well. So I go back up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just to set up a brand new one from scratch. So use the advanced settings. And in this instance, I'm going to say we're going to export orders from WooCommerce, and we're going to import them as invoices. And we're going to set up our mappings. And all we do is we add a new mapping line, and you can literally add as many of these as you like. So we'll start with line items, and I'm going to pick my SKU in WooCommerce equals my product code in Sage 50. And then we just add a new line, and we can just continue through and add the mappings each time. So this is useful if it's a brand new integration that you've never done before, versus choosing a template if it's an integration that we're going to do, you know, all the time for a customer. You know, we know loads of customers are going to want this integration. We're just going to save it as a template. So once you've set up all your mappings, obviously, again, you can schedule it, you can turn it on and off, and you can change the filters down here. So I'm just going to come out of this one. So once you're happy and that's all set up and you've got your integration turned on, which you can do from here, you can run it now as well. So you can press the play button and it'll run straight away, or you can wait for the schedule to pick it up at the next run. And once that's running, you can view what is happening in the log section. Let's take that filter off. So you can see here all of the successful and failed transactions that are going through the system. Now, it'll usually tell you here if it's something, if it's failed to connect to whatever system, it'll tell you why. Maybe, you know, the password's incorrect, or if it's been changed, or there's been a timeout issue or whatever. Or you can filter in this part as well. So usually if an order's failed to import, it would be something like it couldn't find a matching SKU in Sage 50, for example. So what you can do is you can actually go in, if you know that that product code or that SKU code is something different in Sage, you can actually go into the log here, change it, and then click send again, and it'll re-import it. Or for example, you know, if it can't find the matching account reference in Sage, you can go in and amend it and re-import it. So this is actually quite a useful section. This will probably be the place that most people like to come in and sort of check, because once the connectors and the integrations are set up, they tend to just sit there and run on as normal, without any intervention. So the last section that I'll show you is just the support section. This is useful because obviously it's got the support details in there. You can either give us a call, email us, or you can log a ticket straight from here. And you've got the user manual and the field guide, which is particularly useful because you can click on a connector and you can just drill down on all of the fields that we get for each individual integration. So it's just useful if, you know, your customers are asking, you know, can you get access to this field, or, you know, I'd like to do this. You can check in here and you can just see all of the fields that that we get access to in each particular system. So that is essentially the Cloud Data Exchange platform. And we're going to go on to what is next. So a discovery call with you or your clients or prospects. So if you've got anybody who would benefit from the Cloud Data Exchange platform, or they've already inquired about integration, you know, we can have a chat with the customer and just go through what their requirements might be. We can do joint webinars for you and your clients, and you can also sign up online to become a Cloud Data Exchange partner on the partner section of our website. So once you're registered, you'll have access to continually updated marketing material, which just gets uploaded straight to the partner portal. And that can be found at www.clouddataexchange.com/partnerships. And that is everything. So thank you for joining. And if you've got any questions, please just let us know.